All right, guys and girls, welcome back. I've been missing for a little while. I had a little bit of a social media break, but back in the saddle. This is a preset that I created because recently Netflix did the documentary film about Motley Crue, and it was called The Dirt. If you haven't seen it, it's not a family film, but you should definitely go and watch it. It's one of those films that it's shocking all the way through, and it's full of sex and drugs and rock and roll. My kind of movie. This is being put together because obviously with that being released, everybody is now covering Motley Crue songs, especially on YouTube. So within the Helix community, I've decided to kind of put this together for you. This is a bit of a strange one because it's not a direct copy of Mick's tone from Motley Crue. It's just I've got to try and get as close as I can, obviously, because we're using the pitch shifter, which will take you down from E to D. It's a full drop, it's a full tone drop. Other things have to be taken into consideration so that it doesn't start washing out and getting a little bit messy. So it's not meant to replicate his tone 100%. So before anybody said, this is wrong and that's not there and he didn't use this and blah, 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 he used the spaceship from Mars. It doesn't matter, okay? So let me just give you the basis of what's going on. This is our amp. We are using the Marshall, the 2204, which is the modded version that Line 6 did. There's 3 settings on this snapshot. There's a mild, a drive, which is kind of like the main sound, and then the boost, which just gives you a tiny little volume boost and ups the mids a little bit. So we're using the stock cab, and it's the 4x12 greenback. I've just done a tiny amount of cut because I am using the SM57 on this, and it's a harsh mic, but back in the day that's what was used. So I'm using the 57 dynamic. It's 1.5 inches back. There's no low cut, and there's just a tiny bit of a high cut. No early reflections, and the rest of it is just left as is. A simple delay, just a quick delay, 374 milliseconds. That's that. On the end is our LA Studio compressor. It's a mono patch as well, this, so you'll be able to be not worry about wazzing into stereo. And then our trusty tube screamer as well. Let's turn that on so you can see what's going on. Hey, there you go. Okay, and there's an optional wah in there. It's just set at 80% mix. It's not really too overpowering, too overbearing. It's just there if you want it. But obviously this is where all the magic happens. Okay, so this is our simple pitch, and it's actually set to go a full tone down. So your low E will become D. All right. So our standard tuning. I'm using the vintage Les Paul, and I may or may not be fully in tune. So if we stand on the simple pitch, that then takes our E down to D like this. Okay, now that's on the mild snapshot 1, and then snapshot 2 will then give us this. What you'll find about that is it's really high-endy, it's quite fizzy, but back in the day, that's kind of how it was in the 80s. I had the JCM 800, and it was a fizzy old bitch. Fast forward to having a PV 5150, and that's probably one of the worst amps that you're going to ever try and dial out the fizziness in, because it's really like in your face. But based on how it sounds on the record and based on what they do live, I've kind of left all the fizz alive in the preset. However, as a tip, when you get to the stock cab, like I said, I'm playing the vintage Les Paul, or the Les Paul by a company called Vintage. It's the Slash model. It's got real high gain pickups in it. If I was to swap guitars to a Strat, this whole patch will sound completely different. So you've got to take that into account, that when you get this patch and you load into it, there's no point in you sitting there going, it doesn't sound anything like Mick Mars. The chances are you don't sound anything like Mick Mars, because I don't. So take that into account. So as a tip, I would dial stuff back from the cab rather than the amp, because the amp is just set as it would be. I mean, there's a lot of presence in there. There's not a lot of treble. I'm just trying to, get that nice balance. There's a plate reverb in there as well. So yeah, whatever guitar you're using, just try and adjust it around the cab area. Even try a different mic. It's up to you. It's just that I find the 57 to be a little bit more representative of the 80s. Okay, and the boost just gives you an ever so slight volume boost out of the amp. Let me just show you what goes on there. So on the main drive patch, the channel volume sits at 8.5, and when we hit that boost, it goes to 9.4, just for your searing solo, so you can take the spotlight and, have strippers pouring food on your breasts, whatever you want to do. That's me not making any money off this video. And obviously, for all the naysayers, if you were out at a gig and you were using this patch, I find it very, very unlikely that anybody out of the crowd is going to come up to you and go, "Hey, man, that doesn't sound polyphonic." If I'm assuming that you're gigging in America, that's what I'm saying. Sounds fine to me. So there you go. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. You can download the patch. The link is in the description. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like, share, say all nice, beautiful things. And go and get your spandex on and get your Motley Crue happening. See you on the next one.